Welcome to the heroes portion of our show. I'm here with Sarah Howells. We are discussing a little bit more about social engineering and grooming. So, Sarah, we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into this, especially when it comes to the grooming portion of, both of these stories. So I guess start with the young man.
For sure. So with the young man, they shared a common interest in the game that they were playing, which is how they even met on this format. And sometimes, like with social engineering and trying to pull a fast one on people, you are going to tell them that you share the same interests as them. You're going to say the things that you know they want to hear in order to get them to trust you and to fall deeper into your trap. And that's all part of the grooming process. And before you know it, you're so far invested in this that it's hard to back out.
Like most online things, I mean, I think about dating apps. I think about like all these things that people do and they put themselves in situations meeting with strangers, right?
Yes.
So when it comes to this gaming app, did they ever meet in person?
They never met in person. They never saw each other through a video chat or anything like that. The only thing they saw was the pictures that she wanted him to see, and that could have been anybody out there, and whatever avatar she had picked for her username.
Okay.
And that was all he knew.
That's interesting. And then when they were going to meet, so I understand he was Canadian and she was from the States.
Yes.
So what was the distance like and how did that exactly progress?
Well, not to give anything too much away.
Yeah.
He was from here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And she was in Oklahoma. And so it was a long distance to go. It was a lot of money on a ticket and whatnot to go. And he was going to stay with her in her home. And he was set to go. He had his bags packed. He had his ticket purchased. He was getting on that plane. And then it fell apart.
And thank goodness it did.
Thank goodness it fell apart, yes.
Yeah, no kidding. It's even hard to wrap my head around about how bad that could have actually went.
Yes.
And then you have your other story, which had a more devastating ending.
Yes, it really did. He had been grooming her, working in the area. He had been grooming her for a couple of months, getting her to trust him and essentially falling in love with him. And
so this would be like she'd maybe be sitting on the dock and he knew where she'd be every day and maybe come bring her a soda, come sit down, how you doing there, kid?
Absolutely. Yep.
Right?
Yep. Anything that
want to have a cig, like, right?
Anything that would appeal to a 14-year-old girl. Here, I found some pretty eyeshadow for you, or here's some pretty nail polish. Here, I brought you, some flowers, kind of thing, grooming her, and she's falling deeper and deeper and deeper. And 2 months later, she willingly up and left with him, and they ended up in California. And she returned 4 years later with a 3-year-old daughter.
And that's sad. I'm just
Very
glad that
sad.
she returned, though.
She did return. We were very happy about that.
Yeah.
And it was very, very long process to basically retrain her that not everybody is that way.
Well, and it's 14-year-old mind, and then she was 18, so still probably very young-minded, right?
And literally, her mental capacity was not where it should have been or would have been if this hadn't happened.
Yeah, if she would have stayed
She was so regressed because of this.
Of course.
And the upside to the story, though, is that he was arrested. He did go to prison. And she is now very happy. She is married. She has more children. And her husband is wonderful to her.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That's a happy
So there
ending.
is a happy ending.
Yeah, that's great. So then I guess when it comes to social engineering and grooming, what is something that parents can be aware of? And I mean, grooming can happen not just for young kids. Grooming can happen to adults. Grooming can happen to our elders.
Yes.
Right? It's all about gaining trust.
It is absolutely about gaining trust. So the thing that parents and seniors and even children need to learn and understand is that unless you have physically met this person and you've done due diligence and you're absolutely sure that person can be trusted, you shouldn't be just innately trusting them and thinking that they'll always have your best interest at heart, because it's not always true.
I mean, and that's a hard one because most people, I think, if you are from a kind of a happy, healthy home, happy, healthy school, happy, healthy workplace environment for the most part. I mean, we all have difficult personalities that we deal with, and we know that we don't all jive.
Yep.
But the reality is there's a certain safety in that.
Yeah.
I mean, when someone like this, it's a predator really that comes in and has intentions from even before they met you. They've been looking for something before they meet you. They want something from you, whatever that may be, and they're going to get it. In their minds, they're going to get it.
And they learn everything about you so that they can entice you and get you to trust them inherently.
So, like, what would maybe be some warning signs? Is like somebody that is agreeable all the time, somebody that bends over backwards to give you everything you want.
Yeah.
You know,
when there's no boundaries and no limitations set to these relationships, if that's what you want to call them, they, I'm getting everything I want. Why would I not go? Why would I not want to be with this person? They tell me everything I want to hear. They tell me I'm beautiful. They tell me I'm smart. I can have anything I want. I'm not getting at that home. So obviously this person loves me completely. Yeah. And they just fall under that trap.
And then what would somebody do if, say, for example, like yourself and this family that you were connected to knew that these things were happening, they were upset about them? What are actions that you can take, whether it's online or it's in person? How do you signal that there's concern there?
It's unfortunately for the victim, they don't have any concerns. No. They don't understand. They don't see that there's anything wrong with this. Yeah. They think everything is, it's just beautiful and so natural, and they love me unconditionally. And so to them, there is no warning sign. They see nothing of that sort. And unfortunately in the case of this, it was a family that lived out of town. There were no other families out there. People didn't see it happening. They just thought it was innocent. This guy is talking to her down at the dock. No harm done, right? And then the harm was done. So it's really hard. But if you get that feeling in your gut that something is not right, go with that. Yeah. Go with that. Absolutely believe that if your gut's saying something is wrong, believe something is wrong. Your gut is very seldom ever wrong.
I think I would have to agree with you on that one, just from traveling and doing some of the things that I've done. Yeah. When you get that sixth sense and it's time to beat it.
Yes.
Before it gets hot. Yes. Then do it.
For sure. But like I said, it was a very long process, and it was a lot of law enforcement looking, and we were very fortunate to get her back.